So we are here with SUKHBIR KAUR today, and we thought we make it a little different this time. So I'm in Delhi, and Sukhbir was kind enough to come down to Delhi so that we have this session in a different way, and both in person joining and hosting this session will be an utmost pleasure because I'm meeting Sukhbir, and we are doing it together. So thank you, Sukhbir, for joining in.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And it is really a great moment for me to be with her today. And on top of that, be with her on one-to-one basis. So this is very interesting.
Wonderful. So, Sukhbir, we would love to hear from you about your life journey and how has been your life and professional journey both.
Yeah, sure.
Please.
I'm all excited about today's session, and thanks a lot, Mentor My Board, for bringing me online today.
You're welcome, dear. Please go ahead and tell us about you, your life journey, and how is it that you have, been navigating through the life and the professional journey together.
So, as you know, that I have always been in education for more than 20 years, and it has its own ups and downs throughout.
Right.
But at the same time, there were times where situations were not so bright, and life has all acted as a real challenge.
True.
And but to come out of it willingly, and at the same time come with something major happenings, that was where I was looking forward to it. So one of the things which I would really like to highlight over here is that 3 years back, I had worked in different organizations, different places, and I was working as a principal in one of the colleges out there. And suddenly there was a situation wherein I had to um, make a choice,
Okay.
wherein my mother was facing a stage 4 relapse of cancer. And professionally, I was doing very well as a principal, and best of my career opportunities which was available to me.
True.
And life had thrown open a challenge in front of me. Okay, so what do you want, Sukhbir? Where do you want to go? And then this is where I decided that okay, I want to become a frontline caregiver for my mother.
Oh,
And
that is so nice.
and there I realized that how important the role of a caregiver is, and that is where my second inning started. Actually, I started developing passion for something called caregiving. I started learning more about the pain points of a caregiver, how a terminally ill patient or any member of the family who is acting as a caregiver, what are their roles and how important it is for them to keep the person or the patient motivated throughout. So this became my second passion, and it also suggested me another opportunity in my life wherein I doing started about my entrepreneurship myself.
Wonderful.
And came up with a new area for myself, which is INAD. And now my this little baby Ainad getting almost now completed 2 years. So now we are going ahead with registering. We have already registered it.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
now we are going ahead with commercially and making ourselves available through this particular venture of mine.
Oh, wonderful. So, tell us a little more about INAD, what it is into, and how is it that you're registering it? What is it that you're doing with INAD?
So INAB is basically more into caring for caregivers.
Okay.
So we have a batch of caregivers which are already available. Those are, we call them as a paramedical staff when we go into the healthcare sector.
Right.
But apart from that, there are in families also, though there are caregivers. Though we don't know them as caregivers, but they are actually taking care of the major responsibility
Right.
around the patient, in and out, handling all the stuff, emotional as well as financial burdens. And these are the important areas where we need to really look into it. So this role of caregiver becomes very important
True.
And this can be handled very well if the caregiver is aware that they need to take care of themselves also first, because
Very important.
this is where a caregiver forgets and starts taking care of the patient but forgets to take care of themselves.
Oh.
So that is very very important. How
So
to
जैसे वो फ्लाइट में बोलते हैं कि before helping others
Yes.
you put your own mask.
Yes, बिल्कुल सही कहा
So it is that way, right?
बिल्कुल सही बिल्कुल सही. So this is actually about self love. First you love yourself, then only you can provide happiness to others.
True. Wonderful, wonderful. So this Ainad will take care of those caregivers.
Yes. So what we are trying to do is we are coming up with some few programs wherein we are developing some communities which will be specifically looking after the people who are caregiving in the caregiving capacity. They are already there and forming community around them so that they can handhold each other.
True.
And provide support during the low times and give a pat on the back for whatever they are doing.
So I so agree and understand to this concept, because it always happens that you toil yourself so much, but then there is no one who will recognize this kind of efforts that you put in.
Sure.
And when there is a community, you can share your emotional disturbances, you understand from people, you learn how to thrive out of it, and plus there is someone who understands you in that phase and supports you that way.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
is
Very
such
important.
a wonderful and a noble cause that you're doing. I'm sure this will give you lots of blessings in form of those people who are already into it and who want to enter it also.
Thank
So
you.
how is it that people can enter this kind of or who are the people who would enter into such kind of an institute?
Very important question. So we have different areas in which we can enter. First is all those 12th pass graduates.
Okay.
Those who are interested in entering into paramedical staff, they can act as a caregivers. They can officially opt as caregiving as their passion and want to contribute to the society in this form. This is one of the ways. The other ways is there are graduates who would be interested, who are willingly interested to give some part of their time in form of supporting the elders or just being available to the elders.
Oh, that is
So
nice.
what will happen is that the senior citizens of our society, they are looking forward to talking to some people, and sometimes they need some help in terms of social media, or they need some help in financial filling up the forms. So all these small efforts can be taken care of by these helpers,
Right.
or rather we can call it as buddies for the
elderly.
Yes.
Yes.
So this becomes a great future, a great association level. Also, it helps, and for the same at the same time, the the youngsters also develop how to communicate and be inclusive in the society, because we need to appreciate all the types of people within our society.
Right.
So even if we have something like an autistic child who is unable to express as fluently as a normal person are, then obviously you can create that kind of environment around them, that they are all equally appreciated while they are in the society and at the same time performing their normal working.
Right.
So we have good examples wherein autistic children are also absorbed within the organization and they are working on a full-time basis.
Wow, that is wonderful. And I remember Sir Ratan Tata is
Yes.
also supporting something of the same
Yeah,
cause.
he has already started good fellows. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is somewhat similar
It's
to
somewhat similar. Yes.
what he is doing as well. So if in case sometime this session goes and is heard by Ratan Tata sir, there is someone here by name of SUKHBIR Kaur, and she is also into the same space and would be blessed to get your wisdom and your words as well.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Neha.
Yes. Sukhbir, you have been an alumni of the WOM program that we did, that we are doing, in fact. And this program, as was launched by our Honorable FM Nirmala Sitaramanji in the Women Directors Conclave that we had hosted. So, how is it that this program has helped you in any way in, crossing these mental hesitations, or maybe understanding the landscape of corporate governance? How is it that it has helped you in this particular INAD? Please brief us
So,
about.
there are, I would rather speak about two things in this particular question. First is about the program itself.
Yes.
First, the program, when I actually did this entire program, the two beautiful things about this particular program is that it was throughout experiential program. So it actually involved us in the entire program at every step. So though the duration was 3 months, but we never felt that we are actually doing a 3 months program. We are involved, we are engaged. So each and every step you ensure that we feel participated and we feel that we would like to contribute there. That is the first thing which I would like to highlight.
Thank you so much.
The second part is it is creatively designed. So we are not only getting aware about the basic things about corporate governance and how the board functions, but we are also aware about what are the different areas in which more specialized areas where we can place ourselves and ensure that we can make a major contribution when we actually start acting as an independent director. So this is one thing which I would like to highlight, that how this program is designed. The second part, how it helped me in my profession, is that I am now better prepared when I enter into this area. So when I become an independent director, I'm aware that what all areas I need to be really be clear about and ensure that the compliances are actually taken care of, and how I can not only care for myself when I am going into this as an independent director, but I also ensure that I am a representative of the shareholders, of the different stakeholders, and ensure that corporate governance and ethics are really taken care of.
Wonderful. So, you being a professor and HOD at DGIIM College, which is in, I think, Faridabad?
Yes, in
Right.
Faridabad.
So, how is it that this particular, role of yours is associated with the kind of work under corporate governance that would evolve? And how is it that you look forward to contributing to the society through this particular role?
So it so happens that after I completed my MBA and I started teaching, that time I got an opportunity to do a faculty development program from IIM Ahmedabad.
Wow.
So during that particular residential program, we had an option to work with one of the faculty members.
Okay.
And I chose corporate governance at that time. So corporate
Wonderful.
governance was close to my heart even in year 2000.
Oh.
So I already worked on actual research work. We did a research work at that time under the guidance of Professor Manikutti, and we actually went ahead and did what all other structural compliances which the companies have actually used and started complying with.
Okay, wonderful.
And this particular research work told us that we are actually in 2000 we were more into structural compliances. So we were already aware what are the rules related to corporate governance.
Right.
Companies were already started following it. So structural compliances were already there,
Right.
in place.
Right.
And some of the companies were really struggling hard. But yes, this is the fact which we found out, that uh, in 2000 work needed to be done, and leadership had to be really, where we were supposed to come up with only compliances, or where we have to actually make it mandatory certain things. That is where we were really facing some challenges.
Wow.
So
Okay.
now when I look at it, around entire 22 years working with ethics and corporate governance, I feel this is something which our country really needs to take it forward in a big way. And considering the recent situations and the recent upheavals which are there in the corporate sector, we need to be more aware about these compliances, and we need to ensure that our shareholders are really taken care of, and at the same time we are jumping towards the right in a right way, so that we actually become such a big $1 million kind of a country which is really looking forward to doing
True.
good future.
So being 7 crores SMEs and MSMEs who are still not under that kind of, regulation framework, I'm sure there is a huge work which is still pending. But then stock exchanges, the SME boards, the emergence board from NSE and all, they are helping people understand the good governance aspects and getting listed and what are the benefits, so on and so forth. So I'm sure $5 trillion economy, which our prime minister is viewing, is not that far for us now.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. So since we just spoke about our prime minister, he is also very fond about women development. And today we see that Smriti Irani ji is in Davos, and she has put up We Lead as a as a special place there, and she's talking to people about women and women-led development.
Yes.
So how is it that you would want to contribute to this, or how is it that you're already doing it? What are your thoughts on it?
So a very important question. This is a very apt question, and being in this means, I would say we simply call better halves, and we call it as ladies, and half of the country is represented by us females.
100%.
And this is a very area which is very close to my heart, that how can we ensure that females also are in the leadership profile, and the way you mentor my board, you are also part of this. And this is one thing which I really appreciate about you guys, that
Thank you.
how you have been almost women led, I think.
Yes, we are 95% women-led organization.
And this is a clear cut role model for everyone that how females should actually run an organization, and how we can do wonders at the same moment and in such a short span.
Oh, thank you.
So this is where even when I have been acting as a principal, and as a summer internship, means trying to manage the academics in different 7 different colleges at the same moment, and ensuring
Oh.
that the quality of the education or the quality of curriculum followed is as per the standards which we are following. So during this entire tenure of mine, what we did was that we ensured that not only education is important, but at the same time, the experiential part, like when we are there, the students are doing some summer internship programs, we ensure that they are not only going ahead for a purpose of certification, they go ahead with some actual contribution to the company. So they come up more in terms of how much, or in terms of rupee value, how much have they contributed to the company during their entire 2 months training.
Correct.
And or something like, what have they, how many orders they have bagged, or if suppose they are in HR department, so how many recruitments they have helped.
Right.
So this is how, like, trying to give them some rather than only working on a subjective way, trying to objectify the entire thing, and making a smart goals there. And this makes them also looking forward, this makes them better prepared for their future jobs. Because right now, if the education does not provide them enough opportunities,
Right.
while they are doing their education, higher education, then later on they are not job friendly.
Hmm.
So that is where we ensure that our students are also as as good as placed when they are actually uh, absorbed by the companies, so they are
Right.
ready to work on the day one. So this helps. And small things like we did some market research assignments also,
Hmm.
wherein we take the assignments from the corporates
Hmm.
and then do it within our colleges and
Oh,
make
wonderful.
students responsible for completing this entire project, and expect them to do some presentations in front of senior members, so they are getting more comfortable when they actually go ahead and start working.
Oh, that is wonderful. So, today, if you see what is the kind of ratio between, in the education sector, in the top leadership roles, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
with women being, in the education sector, we always know that women have led in the
Yeah.
forefront. But today, what is the percentage of women who have reached that kind of level wherein senior management roles or the directorship roles? So, any understanding on that aspect from your side?
So I would say that, as you rightly said, that females predominantly are into this particular sector. But at the same time, when it comes to senior profiles, you will find that we are still, not many roles are there, and not
Exactly.
majorly what happens is that whenever they are going ahead to the senior profiles, that is where the actual hurdle starts.
Hmm.
That is where we find that the major roles are not actually, I would say that females are there. So
Hmm.
we are still facing some challenges there.
Right.
Yeah, and you are correct that in spite of the fact that middle management and initial level profiles are backed by
Majorly led by
maximum,
women, yes.
yes, but when it comes to senior level designations, we are still having less number of females are there
Right.
within the boards. Yes,
Correct.
that's true.
Wonderful. So tell me, who are your mentors or the guiding torch? So for Mentor My Board, we have created or curated our advisory board who acts as our, guiding force, and they keep us focused, they keep us, on the track.
Mhm.
So who would you feel in life has been your mentor, who has, always been there, supported you?
Yeah, so I have in my journey, I have come across directors in my institutes, and some of them have been really inspirational. So to start with, Professor Manikutti, when I worked with him,
Right. You mentioned.
yeah, so he's the person who brought ethics and corporate governance in my life, and
Wonderful.
he's an ethics professor and still associated with IIM Bangalore right now.
Oh.
Then ICFI, I have worked with ICFI for a long time, and
Hmm.
Dr. R. Prasad, he has been my director, and he has been a truly exceptional kind of a person, wherein continuously promoting or rather challenging every faculty member to be updated and continuously work towards our own betterment, and how to ensure that we deliver best of the things to our students.
True.
So ensuring that we keep working in our research areas and at the same time updating ourselves. So he is the second person which I would like to name. Third one, I would say Ramesh Krishnan sir. He has been again from ICFI only. Ramesh Krishnan sir is presently working in Hyderabad, and both of them are associated with ICFI University at present.
Wow.
Then the last one I would like to mention Dr. Rameshi Arora. I've worked with her in CIBMRD Nagpur,
Mhm.
and she's presently working as director there. And she is one of the ladies who has ensured that uh, in her tenure, the institute really flourishes to a level wherein you can all the different parameters when we look at the institute, like conferences and ensuring panel placements, ensuring the overall development of the children. That is where she ensured. And at the same time, she herself has been participating at different levels and part of different setups that, during corporate training, and continuously involving herself in different things. And lastly, I would like to mention Dr. Hemlata Ramasubramanian ma'am, wherein she was the person who actually ensured that I complete my PhD.
Oh, wow.
So I got stuck at one point wherein after synopsis I felt that, oh, this is enough. I don't think I can go ahead and do more work in this area. But she pulled me up and ensured that I complete finally my PhD
Wow.
in
So a
2014.
woman empowering other women to do
Yes.
it. So happy to hear it.
Yes.
So I'm happy that even though first three were men, but the last two women you mentioned about contributed a lot of things to
Yes.
whatever they were doing. So
Yes.
definitely, thanks for that. Uh, Now tell me that you were speaking about your PhD in ethics and corporate governance, right? Corporate governance is somewhat even measurable, or we understand that there is a checklist, there are parameters, and it can be done. How is it that you think ethics can be understood or measured, or what is it that your research says?
Okay, so I would say that we need to learn a lot from our um, historical history actually. So Indian history is somewhere with where we can actually take a look, and that is where we will be continuously be focused or ensure that we are on on a better track every time. So I would say that until unless leaders themselves are they are not into a role model mode, then it becomes very difficult for any organization to follow on. So if the leadership and the board of directors, they are very clear about what they want to do and what are their how the boundaries they have created, then only the remaining organization or the people who are working in the organization will come to know that how it they have to perform.
Correct.
So it has to be led by the leaders.
Leaders.
It cannot be from bottom to top. It has to be from
Top to bottom. So it is rightly said that the culture that is built by the management, and
Yes.
that is how the organizations follow it the way they want it. So totally agree that it has to be from top to bottom, and generally what happens is culture is generally eaten for breakfast.
Yes.
If it is not done the right way. So agree. But how is it that you link it with the Indian past, or the historical thing? So I'm sure we had amazing leaders in the past. We were known for our teachers or tutors or people who have contributed a lot. But how is it that will relate to the corporate governance phase and to the ecosystem of ethics in today's world? So any thoughts on that?
So I would say that here I would like to highlight that there are our books can be the best. Our books can be the best guide for us. So even if there are any because we are continuously thrown with dilemmas in our life. True. And contradictions in our life, and we are continuously facing challenges where we are really not sure about whether this path is correct or the other path is correct.
Right.
And that is where the role of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, or in our case like Guru Granth Sahib, or all these books, like they keep us grounded, and at the same time ensure give us a pathway,
The right direction, maybe the
yes,
North Star for us.
as to how and where how should we start. I would rather say that even our management books, for that matter, would really fall short of the kind of knowledge which our books have. So There is a plethora of shastras and plethora of Vedas are there, where we have not really encroached or even started looking at.
True.
So if we talk about something like Chanakya, or how he has brought us Arthashastra. So we are not really started working in those areas. There is a huge, huge pool of knowledge waiting for us to look into it and try and enforce in our real life. And if we can really work on those directions and start living that kind of life, I think nothing like it.
Wonderful. In fact, we can go on for hours and hours, but the time is short and we are nearing the end of the session. But not to miss, what are your key mantras of success?
So, key mantras of success, I would say three words are there. First is self love. If you don't love yourself, nobody can love you better. So,
Wonderful.
you yourself have to be your brand ambassador. So, if you cannot do that, then nobody else can really do that for you. The second thing which I would like to mention is that always be in that moment. If we are not in that moment, we really can't address any problem which life throws on us. So third and the last part is never give up, whatever may be the situation, but never give up.
Wonderful, wonderfully said. There is a very nice book, The Present.
Yes.
Is the book. So I have read it and I sincerely fell in love with it. Wonderfully written, and it speaks about the present, the moments that we are living right now. So, and how important it is to live those moments and not just pass by.
Yes.
So it is very nice, and thank you for being here with me today and doing it in person and virtually for the audience. But this in-person session was wonderful, and I'm sure I'll fetch on opportunities now to come and see you soon.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful experience for me also.
Yes, equally. And thank you to all the audience who are viewing us today. And we would be happy to, come back with yet another member under the spotlight. And thank you, Sukhbir.